So today I'll be explaining how the Datax PLS works. The Datax PLS helps manage your businesses, manage your sales, make your sales, and let's see what the application does. So the first thing we'll do is login and use the user that has been created. So you can see how fancy it looks. So the first thing when you have such a device and you have your business, so the first thing you'll obviously do is create your items. So there's an items tab, there's this fancy dashboard here. So you'll create an item. So in this items page, you can see I've created some items, but we can create new ones. Just click this fancy plus here. Then you'll add the item name. And after adding the item name, you can add the unit price and the item type. And then you'll add the tax, which is 16% most of the times. And if there is none, you can add the exempt. So after that, you can even add the image of the item you have. Then the most important thing is usually adding the quantity, and you'll add the quantity. You can describe it depending on the item you have. So that's how you basically create an item. Then you'll have to save the item. So after creating an item, maybe you have some usual customers who require their ATM's PIN added. So what we'll do, we'll come to this users page here, and so you come to the customers. So under the customers, you can add your customers. So we have already added some customers. So do you add your customer? If they have a PIN, you add the PIN, and if there's contact information, you add. And after that, you're good to go. So you can make a sale. So when you open the device, you scroll down a little bit. There's a POS point. This is the point of sale where you can make your sale. So what you do is you select the point of sale. You already have your customer, and then you select the item you want to sell. So you can select the first item. And when you do, you can see the quantity is 1. So you'll make this sale. Then after that, we preview. So what we'll do here, if you had your customer selected, so you can select your customer if you had saved your customer. So you can select like Jen. So after selecting Jen, you don't need the exchange rate because you are dealing with the local currency. So payment method, most of the times usually cash. So you use cash. Then we'll enter the amount. So you can receive the exact amount you have. So you have 171.80. So after that, you must click this plus button here. So when you click that, you have already added one item. So you'll have to generate the invoice. So after generating the invoice, you can preview the invoice, you can share it, and if you want to print it, you can just print it. So it is that simple, that effective, that fast, that efficient. So another thing, maybe the sale was wrong. So there's the last thing we can do. Maybe something happened with the sale, a mistake happened. So we can credit note that sale. So there's this tab here. So you can see quick actions. We can use the credit note. The credit note, we have to search for the credit note for the invoice we did. So for today, you can select the date. You have the date really for today. So we can search. You can add a new credit note. So then you have to search for today's date. So you have already made some sales. So we want to credit this sale. Maybe something happened. Maybe the goods were returned. So you can click next on that. Then you have to select reason for credit. It can be damaged, can be returned, any other reason. So you can say refund. So you can select that. Then how much are we refunding? So you can refund the cash. So how much was the cash? It was 171.80. So then you can add that. Then you can create the credit note. So you can see it's the same receipt, but it's a credit note. You can still print it if you want to, and you can issue it back to your customer. So that's the selling point. So what happened when you're not selling? When you're not selling, you can see the sales you have done today. You can see the returns. You have all that data, and you can view your invoices. These are the sales you have made that day or the day before, depending on the date. And you can generate all these reports. So under this dashboard is the reports page, and the reports shows the sales report. Those are the reports you have done, depending on the date. and you can generate such reports and you can download them. You can see under the X report here, they give you financial summaries. So you have today's date, you can generate, then we can print. So if you want to print it, you can print your reports, you can share them. Those are the data, the analysis, monthly, yearly, depending on how you want. So you can manage your business, you can monitor your business, you can do whatever you like. And maybe you have users, you have other people working at your business, you can add their names, you can add them. So if you have someone working for you, you can add their name, you can give them their credentials, and they can use the same device to sell. And the most important thing about that is that you can trace whatever that user was doing. So under reports, we can audit. So there's this audit trail. The audit trail will always show what that user did. So you can always monitor, you can always check if they made the sales, if they made any changes. So we'll have to check the last thing of this POS. It's called the inventory, which traces any changes that happen on products. Maybe you updated the stock or any that happened. So basically that's how you work with the POS. So thanks for watching, and that's how you do with the POS.